Hello, it's Red-Headed Riding Hood here, Red for short. It's April 1st, and I'm going to read you William Barclay's daily celebration. And I worked from noon till 4, and while I was at work, it snowed. We have big windows where we can see out at the pool, and it was snowing, but it was so warm. I went out. It was like 40, I guess, or something like that. It just melted. And I went to my car, and my car was wet. But it was snowing. It was a good snow. It was on the ground for a little bit. But April 1st, skin deep. This is a good one. I have always loved the story of Dean Ramsay. The good Dean loved his roses, and it was a high mark of favor when he would say to a guest, "Come into the garden. I would like you to see my roses." My mother had a rose garden. But one day a very lovely lady was visiting him. "Come into my garden," he said. "I would like my roses to see you," which is one of the loveliest compliments ever paid. Still, it does make one wonder why people will flock in crowds for aids to beauty which is skin deep and remain quite indifferent to the beauty of the soul, which makes life lovely. Beauty which is skin deep is not very difficult to acquire if you have the money. You can buy it in a box or in a bottle at the shop of a hairdresser or a beautician. On the other hand, the loveliness of the soul, the great inward graces of life, which make all life beautiful, are not easy to come by. They need to be paid for in self-discipline, in self-denial, in effort, in struggle, in prayer. It is so much easier to get the thing in the box. There are things which are not so satisfactory about the beauty that is skin deep. For one thing, it only masks the reality beneath it. You can paint and powder on a lovely complexion, but that does not change the dull, lackluster skin beneath the coating. For another thing, it is very impermanent. It has to come off at night, if only to put a mud pack on. Soap and water will soon remove it. But the great graces of the heart and mind are an indelible part of life which nothing can remove. Skin deep beauty is sought to impress others. Maybe it does for a moment, or maybe it does make others turn in the street and look and even whistle. But when the years go by, the people we really remember are the people who are gentle and gracious and wise and kind. This is true. Real loveliness outlasts synthetic beauty, even if it is outward beauty we are looking for. And why shouldn't we? It is impossible to get it without the inward beauty. Inner discontent will etch upon the face lines that the beautician cannot remove. Crossness and irritability and bad temper will mark a face with wrinkles that a plastic surgeon cannot remove. If we really want beauty, it must begin from inside. There can never be a permanently lovely face without a lovely soul. As my grandmother said, pretty is as pretty does. And I said before on my community tab that sometimes men come to my channel and say, "Oh, you're so beautiful." And I don't know how to respond. So I usually don't respond. And I recently had to send somebody a message who kept saying that, and it just continued to make me feel very uncomfortable. And I had to say to him, you don't know me, and it's unhealthy for you to continue to say these things in my comments. I would ignore a lot of his comments. Now I have deleted them, but thankfully he stopped, because I said, I may have to block you, because it was just inappropriate, and it was unhealthy, and it was making me uncomfortable. And so and I still pray for that person, and I wish them well, but I'm glad they're not continuing to make those inappropriate comments on my channel anymore. So don't say that no one cares for you, because I do, and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you. Bye.